This episode of the Restoration Today podcast is brought to you by Albi. Are you tired of switching from app to app to accomplish simple tasks for your restoration business? With Albi's all-in-one software, you can stay ahead of the game by unlocking a comprehensive platform that sets you up for success, helping you keep track of current and future jobs and becoming a unified front with your field and in-office teams. It's time to join the future, ditch the multiple apps, and go for a streamlined software catered to your unique business needs. Book a demo today at albiware.com. This holiday season, Albi is doing a special promotional gift for your first month free. Upon activation, receive a $1,000 gift card. Again, that's albiware.com. This episode is also brought to you by SteraMist. Whether it's a residential or commercial space, SteraMist is your go-to solution for a mold-free, toxin-free environment. Don't let mold and mycotoxins compromise your health. Take control with SteraMist's IHP disinfection technology. Visit steramist.com today to learn more and integrate SteraMist into your remediation protocols. That's steramist.com, innovating for a safer world. Hey, restorers, thanks for checking out a quick bonus episode of the Restoration Today podcast. I love keeping up with NORMI and what's going on with NORMI because when it comes to technology and innovation, Lance Eisen, who is their VP of Business Development, knows what's up. And his tech savviness is just beyond me and my little podcast here. So I'm excited to be joined by Lance for a few minutes here to talk about NORMI Connect and what that is. And it's going to be a different way that restorers and cleaners and IAQ pros can keep up with everything that's going on in the industry, pretty much any possible way that you want to keep up with it. So Lance, thank you very much for joining me. I'm going to have you introduce yourself first. And I'm also curious how you got so tech savvy in the first place. Like did this start as a hobby and now you just know of all the radio platforms and podcast platforms and all these, carrying your own internet with you and building TVs and monitors? I mean, my mind is blown. So go ahead and introduce yourself and share a little bit about your background and how you got here.
Well, thank you, Michelle. And I don't even know where to start with my background because it's kind of really diverse from this industry. I started with a law enforcement career for 25 years, emergency medical technician. It's kind of how I got into the technology side. And I think I've become a technology junkie at this point, on the 12-step program, I think, to cure this. But, I actually do a training about technology. And one of the taglines is don't fear the technology, embrace it. Because if you've been doing this industry for 20, 30 years, that's great, but it's changing. And kicking and screaming, we all got to go there, just to be able to keep up.
Yep.
I recently got into a discussion with somebody about automation and how automation was going to replace all the workers. And I said, that's not really true. And if you look at, I use the automobile industry as an example. They used to have assembly lines with people building cars. Then they automated and brought robots in to build the cars, and they replaced all of those workers with people now that have to fix all the robots and program the robots and do all. So the manpower demand is still there. If not, it's grown, but it's a technology change. You got to stay with it or try anyways.
I totally agree. That was the biggest emerging trend in the State of Industry report that came out, is related to AI, which is a little same, little different, whatever. But technology is growing so fast and people are definitely paying attention. So, all right. So explain what NORMI Connect is for people who are not familiar with it.
NORMI Connect is a concept that really came out of discussions like we're having now. I've talked with a lot of people, and there always seems to be a disconnect of information. People are starving for information. That's why they go to the internet. The problem is when you go to the internet, there's no validation as to what you're getting, and you have to try to figure out where to go. So we looked at what we do and what we've been doing with NORMI TV for about 5 years. And people seem to be really enjoying getting their media through video. So we figured let's take it to the next step. And we started to produce as much video content as we could on NORMI TV or normi.tv. Well, the next step to that would be answering the question that a lot of people have: why aren't you on YouTube? Why aren't you on Twitch? Why aren't you here? And people have their preferences.
Yep.
People drive Chevys, Fords, Mercedes, they have their preference. So we figured let's put it out there so people can consume media with the flavor they prefer.
Mhm.
And NORMI Connect is really the concept of putting all the different platforms and types of media together and putting the media out there for people to consume. We are on, at the moment, 15 streaming TV channels. All the popular ones. There's even some non-popular ones that are out there. A lot of international stuff. We just added another one today as we're doing this, 6 radio streaming platforms. The one we added today boasts 50 million users a month.
Wow.
These are massive numbers. Well, it sounds big, but YouTube is 1.2 billion
Wow.
users a month.
Yeah.
Twitch is 150 million users a month. I mean, the numbers are astronomical as to how much media is consumed on these platforms. And we're on 13, 14 as of today podcast platforms. So wherever you want to go, you can just do a search on NORMI or NORMI Connect, and you can consume the media that we're putting out there.
Okay, so from somebody who understands a little bit of the logistics of background technology like this, are you having to separately put stuff on all of these different platforms? There must be some connectivity, but it sounds like a lot to manage in the background.
There's a lot of new technology making the technology possible.
Okay.
It's kind of like they couldn't develop faster computers because they needed slower computers to develop the paths to get to faster computers. So that's kind of where we're at. We're using technology to push the technology. With that being said, in my office, I'm actually running 8 computers with 10 screens. So this is managing multiple TV platforms, multiple Zoom meetings like we're doing right now, radio broadcasting, all going on at the same time, all run through the office here. I mean, the biggest challenge I had was having to bring in additional internet connectivity capabilities to run all the equipment. Other than that, it's really automation helping the automation.
8 computers and 10 screens. That sounds, awful. So better you than me.
Well, you can get a tan sitting here,
I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
Radiation or something. There's something happening.
But
okay, so go ahead.
but you have to understand, some of these computers were called microcomputers. Actually, 3 of them I actually built. They're called Raspberry Pis. That's actually the type of computer. It runs on a Linux operating system. The entire computer is the size of a pack of cigarettes.
Huh.
And it just says things that you plug in. I have multiple monitors running off of them, external memory hooked into them, keyboards, wireless mice, all hooked into this little box the size of a pack of cigarettes. So I have several of those running for monitoring. I don't need big computers and a lot of horsepower for that. So, we're using different types of automation, different types of computers to make sure things are running smoothly. I know if one of my 7-inch monitors goes down, well, there's a problem with whatever was streaming to that, and it's easy to fix.
That's impressive. And I'm going to Google Raspberry
Pi.
Raspberry Pi.
Yeah. You will be absolutely astonished to the usage of what they do with those things now.
I'm going to research that after. Okay, so what kind of content is on NORMI Connect? Why should people be listening in? And talk to, what's there for restorers? What's there for cleaners? What's there for IAQ pros? Because I know that you have a lot of different conversations and different content that's on there. So talk about how there's kind of something for everybody and what's there.
Well, if you look at NORMI Connect from a distance, it's all about indoor air quality, IAQ. Mm-hmm. Everything that you just mentioned comes under IAQ, indoor air quality. It's everything from the remediation to the assessment to the dry out companies, rug cleaners, air conditioning companies, duct cleaners. It's all indoor air quality. Chemistry that we use, it's all indoor air quality. So that is the general market under indoor air quality. Now we split that into multiple categories. The two biggest ones are the consumer and the contractor. Our content is really based for both. And that's a fine line to walk, but we feel it's necessary because the contractors are dealing with a more educated consumer now. They're going out on the internet, they're finding out what is real, what kind of work should be done. And we're trying to keep it where this is the industry standard. These are the best practices. This is what is expected by insurance companies. Both sides, consumer and contractor, need to know that. You know, you should never be working for a customer that knows more about your industry than you do.
No, no.
And for those of you that are out there that have done work, assessment work, especially, or inspection type work for a customer, and you find out that, you know, an hour into your assessment that they're a microbiologist, you know, it's surprising that they may know more than you. So we try to put the information out there to even the playing field for everybody. You have your industry standards, you have your educated consumer, you have your educated contractor. It's the one big sandbox, and it just makes it so much easier for everybody.
Yes, totally agree. Okay, so people are interested in engaging with NORMI Connect. You can go to normi.org or normi.org and look at the top and find NORMI Connect at the top, or normi.org/connect. A couple ways you can find it. But what if people are like, what are the most popular platforms? Let's say people are listening to this from their phone or driving in their car. What's the fastest way to start engaging?
Well, the easiest way is to go to normiconnect.com. That takes you right to, you know, the main page that gives you all your options. You can also go to normi.org, like you mentioned, and we have the NORMI Connect menu option, which will let you pick if you want streaming TV, streaming radio, podcasts. You can get the NORMI app, which is app.normi.org, which gives you access to all of the NORMI Connect features. So we're trying to make it convenient. And it's funny you had mentioned about NORMI Radio, because we went in that direction because we heard from a lot of our people that they want to listen to us, especially when we're doing live broadcasts, but they're driving in their vehicle. And watching Zoom or trying to do something on Zoom while you're driving is dangerous, to say the least.
Yes. Yeah.
So what we did was we went to an audio only platform, and we now broadcast audio only on the radio platforms, and there's 6 different ones. You know, these are the most common ones out there. Well, NORMI Radio, or that's the easiest one to get to. There's Radio Garden, radio.net, MyTuner, Live Online Radio, and they all boast, you know, millions and millions of followers across their platforms. So whichever you prefer, we're there. And because it's streaming audio only, even weaker signals are received very well. You don't have to worry about freezing video and everything else. So in your car, you know, walking around with a headset, that is the easiest way to listen to our content.
Okay.
24/7.
How do you find all these new platforms to get your podcasts and TV and radio and all that on? I mean, you were talking about 2 that you just added today, and you have dozens now at this point between all of the different ways that people can engage in media. So how do you find these?
Well, besides the research and looking for them, we're now starting to see which the platform that I added today, they found us.
Oh.
These are streaming platforms that are podcast platforms and streaming video. And they reached out to us, basically. I got a invitation a few days ago saying, please add your channel. And we did. They do an approval process on it. And our podcast came up earlier today, and our radio channel just came up. So I guess they watch other radio platforms and they start to notice new add-ons, and that's how we found this latest one. Other than that, I do the research for it and looking for different platforms, and it fills a need.
I love it. It's impressive. Every time we talk, you have some multiple new places that you have content streaming on. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else that you want people to know before we wrap it up?
Yeah, the Normie app is something I would just want to talk about real quick. And to get to that, it's app.normie.org. And that'll give you your options of downloading it from either the iPhone store, the Google Play Store. It's out there. You can just search on Normie, or if you go to our app page, the direct links are there. Everything that we've just talked about, the radio, the TV, that's all on the app. Plus, we have other free trainings on the app that are available. I even have some games out there, indoor air quality games or adventures that you get to go through. I think there's 8 or 9 of them out there now. I see a smile on your face. Is that your afternoon planned ahead of us here?
It is probably now. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's very simple. There's a training option there. You hit training, and then you'll see Normie Adventures. It's right there, and they're easy. It's not something that you're going to bang your head against the desk trying to figure out, but I don't think you've seen anything like this anyplace before, especially with indoor air quality.
Okay, I'm going to check it out. Now I do know what my afternoon plans are. Maybe I'll have my son do it. He's very tech savvy. I like it. Okay, Lance, well, thank you very much for being here. Again, you can go to normiconnect.com or normie.org. Any way you search it on your favorite platform, it's probably there. So just search it there too. I'm sure it's going to be there.
Absolutely.
Lance, congrats on all the innovating. It's truly impressive. I'm always amazed at all of the things that you're doing. And thanks to all that Normie does as well. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day.
Thank you for having me. You take care.
For more Restoration Today and the latest news, visit our website, cnrmagazine.com, and find the latest episodes of the Restoration Today podcast on your favorite podcasting platform.